From the Fresh Prince to a vampire-loving blonde, here are actors who fell in love on set.
Number 18, Kit Harington and Rose Leslie. Any Game of Thrones fans know that these two stars met on set. Rose Leslie played Ygritte, who falls in love with Harington's character, Jon Snow.
Later, Kit admitted that they fell for each other in real life, while filming the show's second season in Iceland.
He stated, "The country is beautiful because the northern lights are magical, and because it was there that I fell in love. If you're already attracted to someone and then they play your love interest in the show, it becomes very easy to fall in love." They tied the knot in June 2018. It seems that Jon Snow might know something after all. Number 17, Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan. These two celebs met during the filming of Step Up. Tatum and Dewan played both of the main characters. Initially, Channing didn't want to start anything with his co-star because he'd just gotten out of a relationship. However, after a night of dancing and cocktails, he showed up at Dewan's hotel room with a sombrero on, and they were inseparable after that. They got engaged in 2008 and tied the knot in 2009. They had their daughter Everly in 2013. After 5 more years of happiness and love, the two announced their separation. However, Tatum and Dewan wrote, "There are no secrets nor salacious events at the root of our decision. Just two best friends realizing it's time to take some space and help each other live the most joyous, fulfilled lives as possible." Number 16, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Pretty much everyone has heard of this Hollywood power couple, but did you know that Will and Jada met when they were starring in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Although Pinkett didn't make the cut herself, she gained Smith's attention when she auditioned for the role of Will's girlfriend on the show. Smith was married in real life at the time, but the two began an off-screen friendship. In 1995, he divorced his then wife, Cherie Fletcher. Jada and Will started dating the same year and got married in 1997. They have 2 kiddos together, Willow and Jaden. In June 2018, Will stated, "We don't even say we're married anymore. We refer to ourselves as life partners." Number 15. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. These two Hollywood heartthrobs began dating during the filming of I Know What You Did Last Summer. They knew each other for about 2 years before things became romantic. Freddie later stated, "We were just friends. That's one of the reasons that our relationship has always been so good. We were just friends for a good 2 years before we even went on a date. She knew what kind of guy I was, she knew what my morals were, what my priorities were, and vice versa. We already kind of knew all the faults in the other person." Gellar and Prinze Jr. were engaged in 2001 and tied the knot in Mexico in 2002. They have 2 kids together, Charlotte Grace and Rocky James. Number 14, Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. These two stars began dating while they were filming The Breakup in 2005.
It was shortly after her and Brad Pitt got a divorce, so the duo dealt with a lot of attention from the press.
They broke up just a year later. Aniston stated years later, "I call Vince my defibrillator. He literally brought me back to life. My first grasp of air was a big laugh. It was great. I love him. He's a bull in a china shop. He was lovely and fun and perfect for the time we had together. And I needed that. And it sort of ran its course." Number 13. Mila Jovovich and Paul W.S. Anderson. These lovebirds met while filming the first Resident Evil film in 2012. She played Alice, and Paul W.S. Anderson wrote and directed the movie. We can easily see why he fell hard for this bad girl actress. He originally proposed to her in 2003, but they split up. Then shortly after their quick break, Mila and Paul reunited. They got married in 2009 and have 2 children, Ever Gabo and Dashiell Eden. Number 12, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. This duo got close on the set of The Place Beyond the Pines in 2011. They began dating during filming and were spotted at Disneyland together. Gosling and Mendes went to the premiere of the film hand in hand in 2012 and even spent Thanksgiving together the same year. Although they remained private about the details of their relationship, Mendes gave birth to their daughter, Esmeralda, in 2014. 2 years later, they had their second daughter, Amada Lee.
Some websites reported that the duo tied the knot in 2016, but there's no sources confirming the marriage.
It seems they're perfectly happy without putting a ring on it. Number 11, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell met on the set of the 1968 film The One and Only, genuine, original family band. However, they didn't begin seeing each other back then since Hawn was 21 and Russell was just 16 years old. But during the filming of Swing Shift in 1983, they were reunited and started dating.
Russell already had a son, Boston, and Hawn had 2 kids, Oliver and Kate Hudson.
A few years later, they had a child together, Wyatt Russell. Although these two never got married, their relationship is still going strong. Number 10, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. This duo admittedly fell in love on the set of Daredevil. They were spotted in public for the first time at a game of the 2004 World Series.
Ben popped the question in April 2005, and they got hitched in June of the same year.
In December 2005, Jennifer gave birth to their first baby, Violet. 4 years after that, she had their second child, Serafina Rose. In 2012, they had another child, Samuel. However, after news of Ben's romance with their nanny, Christine, surfaced, the duo decided to split. But Jennifer is quoted later on. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce. She was not a part of the equation. They remained very close, even taking vacations together. Nevertheless, Garner filed for divorce in 2007. Number 9. Claire Danes and Hugh Dancy. This couple fell head over heels for each other on the set of Evening. They began dating during filming in 2007 and got married 2 years later in France. Claire stated about her husband in 2014, "He is a gentleman, he was raised well, went to great schools, he's a clever guy and makes me giggle. I lucked out big time. But when you're truly intimate with somebody, they tend to lose their physical shape. You see through them. Occasionally, I'll wake up and notice his form, and I'll be, oh wow, dude, is a looker." Claire gave birth to their first son, Cyrus, in 2012 and their second son in 2018. Number 8. Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz. This stunning duo fell in love on the set of Vicky Cristina Barcelona in 2007. Bardem was worried about getting involved with Cruz at first. He later noted, "She has that feistiness. I had to wonder, do I really want this? She has what I call the loving blood, passion for everything." Obviously, the romance worked out. They got married in 2010. Penelope gave birth to Leo, their first child, in 2011, and their second child, Luna, in 2013. Number 7. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
These two gorgeous stars met on the set of Green Lantern in 2010, but they didn't start dating until 2011.
And after they both separated from their previous relationships. Just a year after that, they got married in South Carolina. In 2014, Lively told Vogue, "Everything we do in life, we do together. I get to share my life with the person he's become, and we get to grow from there." They also announced they were expecting a child that year. She gave birth to their daughter James in late 2014, and their other little girl, Inez, in 2016. After having their second child, Ryan told Q Magazine how he knew that he and Blake were meant to be. He said, "We were hanging out at this little restaurant, and this song came on, and I was just like, want to dance?" And it was just one of those moments where halfway through the dance, it was like, oh, I think I crossed a line. And then I walked her home, and, I don't really need to go into what happened after that. Number 6. Jennifer Goodwin and Josh Dallas. These two met on pretty much the most romantic show possible, Once Upon a Time. Goodwin played Snow White in the series, and Josh Dallas played Prince Charming. Little did they know, their on-set fantasy romance would turn into the real deal. They began dating when the show started in 2011 and got engaged in 2013. In 2014, they tied the knot. Later that year, she gave birth to their son, Oliver Finley. Then in 2007, had their second son, Hugo Wilson. Number 5. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. It's no secret that these two met during the filming of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the iconic romantic, action, crime movie that won a lot of people's hearts. However, things were a little strange when they got together in real life, especially since Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were still married during that time. But they denied rumors that they were romantically involved while he was still with his now ex-wife.
Just 3 months after Pitt and Aniston were officially divorced, they announced they were expecting their first child.
Angelina gave birth to Shiloh in May 2006. 2 years later, she had their twins, Knox and Vivian. Angelina and Brad have a total of 6 children together. It wasn't until 2012 that they got engaged, and they tied the knot in 2014. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't last long, and Angelina filed for divorce in 2016.
Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and now back to the video.
Number 4. Alexis Bledel and Vincent Kartheiser. These two first locked eyes on the set of Mad Men's 5th season. Although they kept things professional at first, they eventually began dating after the season came to an end. After dating for over a year, they got engaged in 2013. Alexis and Vincent got married in California in 2014, surrounded by close family and friends. Then about a year later, she gave birth to their son, whose name was never released. This couple likes to keep their relationship mostly private, but it seems like they're doing well. Number 3. Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millepied. This stunning duo fell in love on the set of the film Black Swan. Millepied is a French dancer who choreographed the ballet and performed in it. They got engaged in 2010 and got married 2 years after that. Portman even dedicated her speech to Benjamin while accepting her Oscar for the film. She said, "Thank you to my beautiful love, who has now given me the most important role in life." They have 2 kids together, Aleph and Amelia. Number 2. Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux. Aniston and Theroux fell in love while filming Wanderlust in 2010, after having previously met on the set of Tropic Thunder. They were spotted together in 2011 on a date in Hollywood. In late 2011, they reportedly bought a house and moved in together. At the beginning of 2012, Jennifer told InStyle concerning Thoreau, "Having experienced everything you don't want in a partner over time, it starts to narrow down what you actually want. As I get older, I realize what qualities are important in love and what suits me, and what I won't settle for." Then later that year, he proposed to the actress. In 2015, Jennifer and Justin got hitched in their backyard in Bel Air. A year after that, Thoreau spoke about his wife, stating, "She has lived through a lot. Many people would have crumbled. I'm very proud of her for that, for the way she handles herself. So in a weird way, it's an honor to stand behind her. Truly, in that sense, she's amazing." However, the two announced their separation in February 2018. Number 1. Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer. The world fell in love with Bill Compton and Sookie Stackhouse on the HBO series True Blood, but little did everyone know that these two were falling in love in real life as well. Stephen Moyer noted that they first met while trying out for the show. He said they had a spark, but their romance didn't blossom until they began filming. He stated, "I didn't see her for 3 months. By day 3 or 4, oh, this is going to sound so syrupy, but I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. It was within seconds, really, and it just became a thing." They tied the knot in 2010. Anna talked with Red in 2012 about her relationship with Moyer and said, "If you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want it to be the person you want to hang out with all the time. We have a lot in common, but when it comes down to it, if that person isn't really your buddy, as well for me, I don't think that would work." They have twins, Poppy and Charlie, a son, Billy, and a daughter, Lilac.
Today's featured comment is from La Alish on our controversy of Meghan Markle and the royal family video. Thanks for your comment, Alish. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below. I might feature you in a future video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.